The millionaire's daughter never walked until he saw the new black Maid do the unbelievable. Morning light poured through the tall white curtains and turned the polished floor into a shallow lake of gold. The house was too perfect, quiet, immaculate, the kind of quiet that made a little girl's silence feel heavier than it should. Emma Carter, a white toddler barely past her second birthday, sat near the windows with her legs tucked under her, tracing circles on the floor with one small finger. She wore a soft beige short-sleeved top and matching beige leggings, clothes chosen because they never rubbed her skin because therapists said comfort mattered when you were asking weak muscles to try. Still, Emma did not try. She watched dust float and didn't reach for it. She watched toys and didn't chase them. The world moved. Emma stayed. The doctors had gentle phrases, global hypotonia, reduced postural control, delayed gross motor milestones, words big enough to hide behind. Words that let adults say maybe without meaning. Yes. For 2 years, every attempt to make Emma stand ended the same way. Trembling legs, a frightened cry, a quick lift back to safety. The more they coaxed, the more she curled inward, a child in a shell. Then the new black Maid arrived. Her name was Amira. Late 20s, hair tucked into a neat bun, uniform, crisp black with a white collar and sleeves that somehow never wrinkled no matter how much she worked. She didn't smell like the chemical lemon of the cleaning spray. She smelled faintly of cocoa butter and fresh laundry, a soft certainty. On her first day, she crouched to Emma's eye level, smiled, and introduced herself as if meeting a queen. "Your Majesty," she whispered with a playful bow. "I'm here to prepare your palace." Emma stared, thumb hovering near her mouth, unsure whether to accept this strange, bright person. Amira did not rush her. She did not ask for a step, a stand, a try. She dusted while humming and narrated every small task like a radio show just for one listener. "Now the brave knight polishes the lamp that tells stories with light," she'd say, lifting a white table lamp and making it wink. "Now the guard opens the curtain so the sun can come in for tea." Emma's eyes followed, her shoulders loosened. The first sound Amira heard from her wasn't a word. It was a laugh, quick and surprised, escaping like a bird. The next morning, Amira rolled a giant white bed sheet into a snake and laid it on the floor. "This is the river of pillows," she announced. "The princess must cross or the biscuits will burn." She didn't look at Emma when she said it. She simply lay down beside the river and blew lightly, so the sheet rippled. The movement hypnotized. Emma reached a hand toward the snake of fabric. She leaned. She shifted weight to her knees. She crawled. Awkward, slow, but moving. When she reached the far bank, Amir clapped once, gently. No big fuss, no loud cheer to startle her back into herself. Just a warm, safe crossing, Your Highness. Every day after that, Amira smuggled therapy into games. A row of soft white cushions became stepping stones. Emma crawled across and without noticing pressed through her palms and lifted her hips. Tiny muscles firing. A feather duster became a dragon's tail to chase. Reaching for it made her extend, twist, balance. When Emma flopped onto her back, Amira lay beside her and taught her to blow the feather into the air. Diaphragm engaged, trunk engaged, giggles spilling. "Up we go, mountain climber," Amira would say, patting her thighs. Emma would crawl up onto Amira's lap, onto her torso, sliding, clinging, finding her center. It was work disguised as wonder. Amira never used the words therapy or exercise. She used stories. 2 weeks in, something changed. During the puddle game, Emma hesitated at the edge of a round cushion. Her hand shook. Instead of urging, Amira went still. "A quiet island. I'll be the ground," she murmured. "Ground never moves. You can borrow me." And she lay flat on the floor, folding her arms calmly over her belly, eyes bright. Emma blinked, puzzled, then crawled onto Amira's stomach as if climbing a warm hill. Amira breathed slowly, deliberately, making the hill rise and fall like the hum of the sea. "Feel that?" she asked softly. "That's a wave. Waves are strong. They carry boats." Emma spread her fingers on the uniform's black fabric. It felt firm and safe. She shifted a knee, then another, hips hovering above Amira's diaphragm. A tremor ran through her legs, not panic, just newness. Amira didn't touch her. "Borrow me," she said again and exhaled. Emma rose to her knees. The room held its breath. Sunlight pulled over them, warm and watchful. Emma's mouth opened in a little O, the soundless kind of a toddlers make. Her knees wobbled but did not collapse. She looked down at Amira's face. Amira grinned up at her, as if this were not astonishing, as if kneeling were the most normal magic in the world. "Queen of the Hill," Amamira announced. Do you want to see your kingdom? Emma nodded, a whisper barely. Yes. Then lift like the sun. Amamira pressed her palms to the floor to make her torso a steadier platform. Emma placed one tiny foot on the white apron at Amir's waist than the other. Bare toes warm against fabric. She pushed. The world tilted. Her thighs quivered. Stomach tightened. Spine found an axis. Amamira's breathing turned into a gentle elevator. The rise giving Emma feedback, the fall reminding her not to lock. Emma felt it, the balance that had always eluded her, the yes hidden under months of no. She stood for a heartbeat. She was stunned by her own height. The room different from up here, the curtains taller, the white lamp somehow closer to the ceiling's crown molding. Her arms lifted in pure reflex. Little fingers spread like wings. A bubbling laugh burst out. Up, she shouted, as if the word itself were a spell that pinned her to this new sky. Amamira didn't move. She didn't dare. She let the child's feet press into her stomach and focused on keeping her breathing deep and stable. You are standing, she said. Not too loud, not too excited, just true. You are standing, Emma wobbled, corrected. Joy shot through her like lightning. She squealed again, she demanded, though she hadn't come down. Yet, her knees dipped and steadied. She felt her own power, fragile, exhausting, but hers. This was the moment Amir had been building toward the quiet trick. A human platform. Warmth, breath, softness, where hard floor had always scared Emma. Proprioception through storytelling. Strength through play. Safety through love. Look at you. Amira whispered, her eyes shining. My brave queen. Emma's gaze whipped toward the doorway, as if some small intuition told her the world had changed enough that it wanted witnesses. Her mouth formed an astonished circle. She did not know the sound of expensive shoes in a silent house, but she knew the way air shifts when a presence fills it. Footsteps. The doorknob turned with a polished click. The tall figure of a white man in a tailored navy blue suit filled the threshold. Broad shoulders, white shirt, dark tie. A life built on control, pulled to a sudden stop. For an instant, he did not breathe. His eyes went to the little girl first, a beige-clad child standing on the stomach of the black maid lying on the floor, and his whole face cracked open with shock. He had never seen this height on his daughter. He had never seen her legs hold. Amira felt the tremor in Emma's ankles, and without breaking the spell, lifted her voice just enough for both of them to hear. Hello, sir, she said, calm as a harbor. Please don't speak yet. She's standing. The room went silent again, except for the sound of one woman breathing like steady surf and one little girl laughing softly because the ground at last belonged to her. And in that bright, dangerous stillness, held up by nothing but trust and a maid's unshakable gentleness, Emma did the impossible and stayed on her feet. Nathan Carter stood frozen in the doorway, his polished shoes just inside the frame, as if crossing the threshold might shatter what he was seeing. His chest rose once sharply, then held. His Emma, stood balanced on Air's stomach. Tiny bare feet pressed into the crisp black fabric, knees trembling, but holding. Her arms shifted slightly for balance. Her beige shirt pulling at the shoulders as she adjusted, still upright. He didn't move. His mind flicked through years of sterile therapy rooms, of doctors shaking their heads, of clinical terms that meant never. The most he had ever hoped for was a miracle that belonged to someone else, a story in a magazine. Yet here it was. Here she was laughing softly, eyes wide with wonder. Amira didn't look away from the little girl. She's steady, she said, her tone low, coaxing Emma's attention back to the game. Think about the sun. The sun doesn't fall. Emma's lips parted, breath coming in tiny bursts. She took one cautious shift of weight, then another. Nathan's heart pounded so hard he could hear it. She wasn't holding anyone's hands, no brace, no therapist's grip under her arms, only her own muscles and the warm living platform beneath her. Daddy, she said suddenly, the sound bright as a bell in the quiet room. He blinked, his throat tight. I'm here, baby. Look. She smiled so wide it lit her whole face. I'm tall. The words cracked something inside him. He stepped closer slowly, afraid to startle her. Yes, you are, he said, his voice rough. You're so tall. Amira's eyes flicked up at him, the faintest smile tugging her mouth. She's been climbing mountains for 2 weeks, she murmured. Today she found the top. Nathan swallowed hard. How play? Amira said simply. Safe ground. Breath she can feel. Legs that work when no one's telling them they can't. She glanced back at Emma. One more breath, little queen. Then we come down slow. Emma nodded, her curls bouncing, then carefully lowered herself back to her knees. Amamira caught her waist and rolled her gently onto the floor, the game ending without a jolt. Emma collapsed against Amira's side, giggling as if she'd just flown. Nathan sank to one knee beside them. He brushed a hand over his daughter's hair, still stunned by the warmth and weight of her against him. You stood," he whispered as though saying it too loud might undo it. "I stand again tomorrow," Emma said with absolute certainty. Amira laughed softly. "Yes, and the day after and the day after that." Nathan looked at her, then really looked at her, and understood that whatever her job title was, this woman had just given him something priceless. Not just progress, not just hope. She had given his daughter her first piece of freedom. And in that moment, Nathan knew this was the start of something neither of them would ever forget. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And let us know in the comments where in the world are you watching from. We love hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.